Today, I want to tackle a what-if scenario about the future of mankind. You know, one of those questions that truly gets you thinking deep about the very nature of how we live and how we work. We're going to explore a world totally shaped by AI and what precisely could happen if the era of work just simply ends. So, let's dive right in with a question that has nothing to do with science fiction, but to do with a real possibility. Every single day, what if tomorrow your job was gone? Not just shipped overseas, just completely gone, made permanently obsolete by a machine? For this deep dive, we're going to take that idea and run with it all the way to its logical and maybe scary conclusion. So, first things first, how could a shift this radical even come to pass? Let's map out the path from where we are right now to a world where human labor is simply not a necessary part of the equation anymore. Guys, we have all been seeing the headlines and discussions about AI lately, haven't we? They say AI is coming for the jobs and will replace most jobs. But for this particular thought experiment, let us not get bogged down debating if it will happen. Let's just assume it has already happened. Let's say the trajectory is set and the AI takeover of all jobs is total. What happens then? Okay, the bad news is we are already living in it, my friend. Think about the factory robots, the software that handles data entry, or those chatbots you talk to for customer service. These are predictable, rule-based jobs, and frankly, AI is already doing them with superhuman speed and efficiency. This is the easy part of the journey. But then, this next step is where it gets really, really interesting. For decades, we all assumed that things like creativity, art, and complex problem-solving was our thing. Uniquely human. But now we are seeing AI create incredible art, write complex code, and even design engineering solutions. This is the leap that really makes you stop and wonder, what are the limits here? And here's the crucial point. Let's imagine a world where this trend doesn't just stop with our artists and our engineers. Imagine a world where every single job, from being a plumber to doing groundbreaking scientific research, all the way up to being a CEO, is simply done better, faster, and way cheaper by an AI that is the foundation for our whole scenario. Total, complete automation. Okay, so this leads us directly to the first massive, totally unavoidable problem, and that is money. I mean, if nobody has a job, how exactly does anybody buy anything? This is a fundamental economic paradox, isn't it? Listen, in a fully automated world, you still need an economy. You need consumers to buy all the goods and services the AI is turning out. But if all those consumers are former workers who now have zero income, the whole system just grinds to a halt. So, how on earth do we solve that? And this is where you see our entire economic model just completely flipped upside down. We would have a shift from a system based on earning your money to one based simply on receiving it. Think of something like a universal basic income, where people are just given the money they need to live. In a world like that, the fundamental link between your work and your very survival is completely severed for the first time in human history. But okay, let's say we solve the money problem. Let's say everyone gets a check in the mail every month. Does that then mean we have automatically created a utopia? Well, not so fast, my friend. Because once we secure a roof over our heads and food on the table, we suddenly run into a much deeper, much more personal challenge. This question really forces us to look past the economics and deep into the psychology of it all. I mean, for centuries, our days, our weeks, our whole lives have been structured by the rhythm of work. Isn't it so? Work gives you a schedule. It gives you a social circle, and for a great many people, it gives them a sense of purpose and a true identity. What happens when all of that just vanishes into thin air? So, what would that future even look like for us day to day? Is it a paradise of infinite leisure? A new renaissance where everyone is finally free to pursue art and philosophy without the pressure clock? Or is it perhaps a kind of quiet dystopia? You know, a world of just consumption without any creation, a society just pacified by entertainment and endless, unstructured days? And this all leads us right to the very center of the dilemma, the one core question that a post-work world would force every single one of us to answer for ourselves, which is, what is our value? So if we are not producers anymore, if we are no longer the engine of the economy, If we're not defined by what we do for a living, what is our role then? What is our place in a world that, for all practical purposes, just doesn't need us to function anymore? This question really moves beyond the realm of economics and straight into the realm of philosophy. And ultimately, that's it. That is the final, really provocative thought. For thousands of years, the answer to the question, what do you do, has helped define who you are. If AI takes away the doing, well, it challenges the very definition of human purpose itself. Will we find new meaning in community, in creativity, in justice, in pure exploration? Or will we find out that for a lot of us, our deep purpose was always tied to that feeling of being needed? That is the question we might all have to answer a lot sooner than we think.